Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel today. So I have another food pantry recipe for you today, and these are the ingredients that I'm using. All of these ingredients except for the glace cherries have come from a food pantry at some point. So I haven't got all of these items at once. They've accumulated about over a year. So I have some baking chocolate. I have a can of sweetened condensed milk. I have a bag of sultanas, which, as you can see, I have been using it already. That's, how long I've had it for. And I got this box of oat flakes. So I haven't tried oat flakes. I'm not really a cereal kind of person, but when I was kind of looking through recipes yesterday, I came across a recipe for Florentine Squares that usually uses Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Cornflakes, but instead of using the Crunchy Nut Cornflakes, I'm going to use the oat flakes. Because that's what you do when you are shopping at a pantry. You don't have access to all items that you want, but you can get some pretty close substitutes. And I have a feeling that the oat flakes will be a less sweet option because I think I would prefer something that's a little bit less sweet. So yeah, I'm just going to give it a go. So I'm just going to follow this recipe. Basically, it's 2.5 cups of flakes, which I'm going to do here. Half cup red glacier cherries, 3/4 of a cup sultanas, 2/3 of a cup sweetened condensed milk, and then 200 grams of cooking chocolate, which this is only 180 grams. So hopefully this will be enough. So what I have today is a lamington baking tray, my measuring cups, and a bowl. So basically what's going to happen is the oat flakes, the sultanas, the cherries, and the condensed milk are going to go into this bowl. I'm going to stir it and combine it, and then I'm going to flatten it out into this lamington tray, and then bake it for at 180 degrees for how long? About 20 minutes. And then once that's done, I'm going to melt the chocolate, spread the chocolate on top, and then let it cool and then cut it into squares. So something that's really, hopefully, very easy. So let's get started. So this just goes to show why this box of oat flakes was at a food pantry. The top of the box was sealed shut with sticky tape. So obviously it broke and they couldn't sell it, and that's why it's ended up at a pantry. So I've just broken into the box, and as you can see, it's sealed inside. So that's why I like shopping at food pantries, because things like this that would normally just be chucked away and wasted can get used again. So this is what the oat flakes look like. I gave them a taste. They're not as sweet as what crunchy nut cornflakes would be like, but they're about the same sweetness as ordinary cornflakes would be like. Maybe not as sweet. So I feel like they'll have like a little bit more of a earthy flavor. So I'm going to see what it tastes like when I mix the sweetened condensed milk in. If they turn out like rubbish, well, then I'll know. But I got a feeling they might be okay. Okay, so now I've combined all the ingredients and stirred it so it's all evenly coated in the sweetened condensed milk. I found, following the recipe, that 2/3 of a cup of sweetened condensed milk didn't use the entire tin. And I hate wastage, and what am I going to do with 1/3 of a tin of sweetened condensed milk. So what I did is I added the whole tin of sweetened condensed milk and then added more of the oat flakes and more of the sultanas to kind of compensate for the extra condensed milk. So we'll see how this turns out. It'll be interesting. But that's the thing, when you are using food pantry items, you have to get creative. And like I said, I hate wastage. So the next step is to then pour this out into my lamington tray, which I've lined with brown paper. And then I'm going to flatten it and then bake it. And then while I'm baking it, I'm going to melt down the chocolate to then smooth on top. So what I'll do is in the description box, I will leave an updated ingredients list at the end for you to see how it turns out. Okay, so this was the part I was worried about. I was worried that with the extra volume, it wasn't going to fit in the tray, but it has. So I'm going to put this in the oven to bake for 20 minutes, and I'm going to check on it because it does have extra volume. I will need to make sure that it's still cooking for the 20 minutes. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So what I'm doing with the chocolate is I just broke it down into individual chunks and I'm just microwaving it for 30 seconds at a time because I don't want to overcook it. And then just giving it a stir and then putting it in for another 30 seconds. Okay, so that actually didn't take that long to do. I think I only put it in for 30 seconds about 4 times. And it's nice and smooth and ready to pour on. So it's still baking in the oven. So I'll just give it a few more minutes and then I'm going to microwave it again and then pour it on. So I've just taken it out of the oven and I'm allowing it to cool on a drying rack. What I would probably do next time is maybe put it in at a lower temperature. As you can see, the edges have browned quite considerably and it was actually boiling. That's what those little circles are. They're bubbles of condensed milk that have come up. So I'd probably put it on for the same amount of time, but maybe on a lower temperature. And then what I'm going to do, after this cools a bit, I'm going to spread the chocolate on top and then divide it into 24 servings because that's what the recipe recommended. And then we'll see how they taste. Okay, so I've just gone ahead and covered the Florentine bake with that block of chocolate and it was good. That was enough chocolate to cover the entire base of it. I think if I was going to do this again, buying the ingredients, I would probably get 2 blocks of those chocolates to make the base a little bit extra thick. But this was enough and that's okay with me. And the good thing with cooking at home is you get to lick the bowl. Okay, so here is the final result. I did end up getting 24 servings. So what I did is I cut it 3 ways horizontally and then I cut it 8 ways vertically to give me a total of 24 slices. I've already had a taste test and they definitely have the tick of approval. I'm glad that I didn't use the honey cornflakes because I feel like it would have been too sweet. It is already really sweet as it is. So that just goes to show that just using plain ordinary oat flakes or maybe even plain cornflakes kind of tones down the sweetness a little bit. You could tone it down again by maybe getting like a reduced sugar condensed milk as well, because that's where most of the sweetness is coming out. I'm going to wrap this up in Glad wrap and stick it in the fridge because the chocolate does seem to melt quite quickly, especially today it's quite humid. So I'm going to wrap them up and put them in the fridge and they're going to be a nice little sweet treat at tomorrow's lunch. So yeah, thank you for watching my video. Oops. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked watching it today, please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll be doing more videos about recipes that I've made using food pantry items. Have a good day. Bye.